Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, everything good with y'all? I know, right? um, I'm just speaking because it seems like God already revealed stuff to me even before, like, I even know what it's about. It's like God be telling me what it is. Like, boop. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of embracing, like, all my life. I'm going to this again. All my life, everybody just dim this, like, even your parents. Now, you ain't see that. My daddy seen everything I was seeing, y'all, growing up in their house. My dad was a spiritualist. He was prophetic. I'm a spiritualist. I'm a prophet. He tell me everything I'm seeing. As a kid, I ain't seeing it. And it wasn't nothing. Him telling me I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. It's no way he could have told me that you ain't finna sit here and lie and tell me this ain't what I saw. So early on, I noticed that my daddy was a liar. Like, I noticed this. He did it to protect us, but still, when you dealing with the Holy Spirit, a lie is a lie. Like, the intentions of the lie, it don't matter. The lie is the lie. So, for example, when we was growing up, us being kids, we didn't like onions, we ain't like bell peppers, like, the stuff that you put the seeds in your food. As kids, you looking like, ugh. Have to be kid friendly. That means no onion, no bell pepper, all the good stuff that make the food and give it the seasoning. My daddy used to season his food. I was so young, y'all. The Holy Spirit was right there with me. My daddy, we was sitting at the table, and I looked at my food. And my daddy used to chop this food up. Like, he used to chop the onions and stuff up so you couldn't see. Because it was 5 of us. If we didn't see it, we didn't eat it. And so, my daddy, he chopped his food. He chopped the onions and stuff up. Like, he chopped it up. Because he trying to hide it from us. So the kid was like, is it onions in this food? And my dad was like, nah, ain't no onions in that food. Everybody ate that food. Everybody was just eating. Eating up. Woo. Let me stop. Everybody just eating. So all the kids, everybody eating their food because they don't think it's no onions in it. I looked at that food. I said, it's onions in this food. It's onions in this food. I was young. It was no way with the way my daddy used to cook that food that I knew that it was onions in that food when he told me it was no onions in the food. So he telling me it's no onions in the food. I'm looking at the food. I was like, I called him and I said, look, it's onions in this food. When I said it's onions in that food, all my siblings, everybody stopped eating immediately. Nobody would eat that food at that point. Like, nobody would eat nothing. Like, at that point, I was like, it's onions in this, y'all. And then when I said it's onions in it, nobody ate dinner. So my daddy, he was mad at me. He was mad at me because they decided they didn't want to eat. Because, like, you lied to us. That's the first thing. If you know we don't like onions, I don't care, we eat as kids. You lied to us, told us it wasn't no onions in it. It's onions in it. They eating it up. I'm looking at it. I called them out on it. I real young. I called them out. Could have been like 4 or 5 years old. My daddy hated dealing with me. I guess I was him. And so I called him out and said, look, it's onions in this food. I don't care what you talking about. And so nobody ate their food. My daddy was mad because, he like, look, we ruined a whole dinner is just gone to waste right now because, like, nobody would eat. It was a riot in the house. When I say it was onions in that food, them kids, my sisters and brothers, everybody was just like, woo, like, them kids had a fit. So my daddy got mad at me behind all this, though. It was my fault. It was my fault he lied, y'all. It was my fault he decided to put onions in the food knowing don't nobody eat no onions. And it's his fault that he expected to trick us and lie to us and tell us it was no onions to make us eat the food. It's my fault. All this my fault. Because I called out the truth. It's my fault. So I had to deal with this, y'all. From a kid. From way, way young, 3, 4, 5 years old. I had to deal with this. And I had to, and I realized early on, my dad be lying. intentions for lying was good, but my daddy be lying out here, and I'm a little kid. I'm going up against him like, huh? He hated for me to be coming through there. Cause the truth is gonna come out. Like we finna get to now. It's onions in here. Everybody, it got chaotic at that point. Like when I called them onions out and their food, and my daddy, he was very mad. I remember this. He was extremely mad at me for the truth. Yeah. So that's why I say my daddy used to July. Just like all that kids, okay, he couldn't come that way with their energy. So now, when I deal with people, and people always told me that what I see ain't what I saw. Another example, in our house. Now, these spirits were so powerful that my siblings was even like witnesses to some of this stuff. Our friends was even witnesses to some of this stuff. People in the neighborhood, like all of us would see the same thing. So it wasn't just me. Some of these spirits. I don't know if it was strong because I was around. You know, I think that maybe me being around, even as a kid, it was just like the magnetism of the spirit realm was just open to people around. Like even my sisters, my brothers, my friends. Like if you was around me, you were gonna see some stuff. As a kid. Another incident. I told you. It's be a spirit. All bones. You just walk through the house, y'all. We see the spirit walk all through the house. And they used to, my mom and dad used to tell her what we seeing ain't what we seeing. You seeing. Like they used to tell me this. But it's no way you gonna sit here and tell me that what I'm seeing walk down the hallway, which is this skeleton. No skin, all bones is walking up and down our house. You ain't finna tell me that this ain't what I see. So very young. I was locked in the truth. Very young. You couldn't sit here and tell me that what I see is not what I see. So when God come to me in the vision, it's nothing you can do to tell me that what I saw dealing with you is not what I saw dealing with you. I don't care what it is. And it's going to probably be some stuff that you would never even do in a million years. But if I see it, that's what it's going to be. Period. So sometimes I tell people stuff, and they'll be like, man, ain't no way. And then what I told them be exactly what be going on. They'll be like, ain't no way I'd do that. Well, you know what? This what I seen you doing. And this what you gonna do. And then, boom. Sometimes I tell people just to prove me wrong. Y'all, my gift. I used to get to the point, like with my sister. I used to just play with people. Like, I really used to just sit and play with people like, okay, prove me wrong. That's the game I used to play. Prove me wrong. Because I'm finna put in the air right now. And your objective is to prove me wrong with what I'm telling you about you. That you don't know about you. That used to be the game. I used to be a kid playing this game with people. So my sister, she finna go get a car, y'all. And when she finna get this car, she finna get a truck. So when she finna get the truck, I lay down, I have a vision. I have a dream about her truck. So when I dream about her truck, I dream she was gonna get a blue truck. This is what I dream. So she waking up, she excited. She like, ooh, yeah, I'm finna go get me a truck. So I asked, I said, okay, what kind of truck you plan on getting? Like, what color you plan on getting? She like, it's gonna be a black truck. I want me a black truck. That's what she said she wanted. So I said, you're not gonna get no black truck. Matter of fact, the truck that you want gonna be blue. That got under her skin. Me telling her that she ain't finna get the black, it's gonna be blue. It got under her skin. I'm like, your truck gonna be blue. So boom, she go to the car lot. She doing everything in her power not to come home with a blue truck, y'all. She doing everything. I told you it's a game. Prove me wrong. That's the name of the game. Prove me wrong. And I'm gonna have fun watching you. I'm finna have fun. I'm finna sit back and watch you prove me wrong, which you can't do. So I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna have fun on my end. It's gonna be funny for me to sit here and watch you go through all of what you're going through to try to prove me wrong. So when I tell her, your car ain't black, it's blue. She did everything in her power to come home with a black truck. It wasn't nothing she could do to come home with a black truck. When she came home in a blue truck. And I know she did. Like, I know she did everything possible to try to prove me wrong. I know she did. So she going down there with that mindset, I'm gonna prove my sister wrong, which she can't do. So she come home with the blue truck, which was real nice. It was a nice blue truck. But she was like, they only had one truck available. When she got there, she said they only had one truck available, and this truck was blue. And she said they didn't even go through the process. She said somebody had just turned this truck in, like they did, like turned their vehicle in for an upgrade. So this vehicle right here was still in the back somewhere. Like, it wasn't even out for nobody to even try to get it. It was hidden in plain sight. So somebody that pulled up, did an upgrade, traded in their vehicle for a better vehicle. This vehicle happened to be blue. It's not even available. It's not even washed. Like, they ain't did nothing dealing with this truck. So when she go up there, they probably didn't have the type of truck she wanted available, and then the only thing that was available was this blue truck that had just been traded in. Then she ended up coming home with a blue truck. So, I know I used to get under people's skin, y'all. I did. I used to play those games with people. I used to play Prove Me Wrong. I still do the Prove Me Wrong game. I still play that game with people. Because there's no way you can prove me wrong. But you can try. And I'm going to be sitting back laughing in the corner watching you try. But what I said, that's what it is. So I used to play with, I used to do that to my siblings, y'all. Yeah, I used to play those games with them. Like, okay, well, I dreamed about this, so this what it's going to be. And they'll be trying to do everything to tell me that what I seen ain't what I seen. I dealt with this in my house with everybody, including my dad, who was prophetic, who saw the same stuff I saw, who was trying to protect us. But he saw what we saw. He didn't want us stressing about the spiritual realm that was so open, probably because he was more stronger than me, so the spiritual realm was just open to all of us. This spiritual realm was so open that one of these spirits actually picked up one of my sisters in the air. In the mid-air. My sister is up in the air somewhere. It done picked her all the way up and got her floating around in the air. Yeah, and she in the whole house was a witness to this. So some of these spirits were so powerful. You have to have that level. To the point where you could tap to the spiritual can just cross over into this realm to the point where you can pick up my sibling. Yeah, we all was witness to this. But they not going to speak on it because they don't want people calling them crazy. But this was something we was all witnesses to. And it was a room full of people. And this spirit right here picked up my sister, had her in the air somewhere. And all we could do was scream and holler. Ah! Like, what is going on? Yeah. Another incident. When we was kids. When I got older, I knew that this was like somebody probably doing witchcraft in this house. But as a kid, I didn't know that. But when we was kids, one of the neighbors came out with a Ouija board. So we outside, the whole neighborhood, and all the little boys in the neighborhood, girls in the neighborhood, everybody just in our yard. One of the kids in the neighborhood come in our yard. She done found the Ouija board in her house. So she's like, oh, y'all, look, I got a Ouija board. And, you look at the TV, you kind of conditioned there. Ooh, let's ask it a question. So everybody in the neighborhood were asking the Ouija board questions and stuff. Not knowing, like, nobody put the pieces together there. Why she got a Ouija board? Like, we kids. Why she got a Ouija board? It was somebody in her house doing witchcraft. And she snuck and brought that Ouija board out the house. She wasn't supposed to do that. So she snuck this Ouija board out of her house. And she got everybody in the neighborhood, everybody playing with the Ouija board, asking questions, which it was answering. It was answering the questions. So, and I don't know why, but a lot of people just obsessed with wanting money. So when they got the Ouija board, even as kids, I think maybe some of the kids in the neighborhood, and it could have been like, I don't know if it was like some of like my siblings and stuff like that. Cause like everybody just like, ooh, like it's a board game. Like, okay, let's answer the question. So everybody just like got their hands on it. It's moving around. And one of the questions they asked it was, oh, is we gonna get some money? So when they said, if we gonna get some money, it kept spelling the word roof. It kept spelling the word roof. We were like, roof? Like, so that's what it kept doing. And I don't know who asked the question, but it kept saying roof. It kept spelling roof. So Later on down the line, boom, my mom got an insurance claim. It was her roof. She had an insurance claim for damage to her roof. But I say that to say, these spirits, they trying to befriend you. Like they gonna tell you what you need to know to befriend you, so that they can betray you at a certain point. So it was just trying to gain the trust. So it's sitting there like, yeah, like, okay. I know. And the reason why I bring up this Ouija board, y'all, is I was a kid. Like, we had been like, we were real young, like 13, maybe 14. And somebody randomly come in our yard with this Ouija board. The neighborhood, everybody used to be in our neighborhood. It was 5 of us. So along with our 5, all the other kids in our neighborhood used to just gather in our neighborhood. So with this one person who snuck a Ouija board, she opened the portal. By doing that, she didn't know. But and then she also exposed the family for witchcraft, or whoever in her house is actually using this Ouija board. So we like real young, everybody asking kind of questions. The one question everybody was excited about is getting money. Ooh, we want to get money. And so, in this process, y'all, yeah, but I'm just small talk on it, because that's what keep coming to me, like everything just kind of like dropping down in my subconscious, because now when I think about that Ouija board and somebody randomly bringing it into my mama's yard, all the people that touched that Ouija board, all those kids that touched that Ouija board, they either died, they either went crazy, like schizophrenic, like young, like not even in their 30s. Like it just seemed like it was just some might have been released spiritually. And I think when my mama saw that Ouija board in our yard that somebody brought, that their family probably did witchcraft, and they a kid and they just brought it to our house. I think that my mama prayed over us, so we was kind of protected. So when my mama saw this Ouija board, she knew what to do with us. But almost all the kids in the neighborhood that touched that Ouija board, something bad happened to all those people. Now that I'm looking back, it seems like everybody that touched it, something bad happened to it. And I mean bad. So yeah, I'm not even trying to put too much energy into it. It's just that all my life, everybody tell me that what I see is not what I see. Like the spiritual ain't real. Like the spiritual world ain't real. I'm looking. I'm seeing this skeleton walk through the house. He ain't got no clothes on, walk through our house. I'm seeing this. And even my mom and dad was in on, you don't see what you see. Like we're going to, we're going to keep getting in your head to make you think it's something wrong with you. All along knowing it's there. So that's all. That's really where I'm getting it with this, y'all. I'm getting at the spiritual was so real in our house. Like the paranormal activity in our house was so real. It was like, it's no way you can deny it. But even then, it's all in your face. They gonna plant a lie. So that's why I'm so strong on my faith. And I'm like, you can even test this right here. Like I want you to. Because I'm gonna have fun watching you try to figure out how to prove me wrong, because you can't prove me wrong. But you could try though. So we can play the game. But once you figure out the results and you figure out I'm right, don't come for me. Like, don't come for me at this point. When I tell you something and it's what it is, and then you did everything you possibly could to prove me wrong, and you could not prove me wrong, don't turn that anger toward me, because I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. So yeah, so growing up, everybody just said spiritual ain't real. Like they want to brainwash you to make you think the spiritual not real. And even my daddy, my mama, everybody, and my daddy synced all the stuff. He said all the stuff was attached to him some kind of way. So, and I really don't know, because he never really even spoke too much on what was going on, so to speak. But I learned with my mom and daddy, over the years, I learned this early. I learned that my mom and daddy are hermit. I learned that my mom and daddy got flaws, and I learned to give them grace. That's what I learned. And I learned this early. Cause you look at your mama, your daddy, you look at them as being perfect. Like, you give them such high expectations. When they can't meet your expectations, it's like, when they can't meet your high standards, your high expectations of what you think of them, it's like you disappointed at a certain point. It's like the disappointment set in. And me, I just kind of accepted the truth. And that was the truth. That my parents are flawed. My parents are human. And give my parents grace. So I never looked at my parents as the superhero. I never looked at them as that, because early on I saw the flaws in them. Even with the lies, that's a flaw. So that's me, and that's just what I got from them. Like, they human. So they gonna make mistakes. They in the flesh just like you. Now, you talking about the I am that I am now. You can put him on that level, but just your regular parents, there's no way you can expect them to be in this world and be perfect and walk perfect. Like, it's no way you can expect that out of them. So that's what I learned with me and my situation, everything that was going on with me. Of course they did it to protect me. Of course they do little stuff, like us, we might even do, but I'm so transparent with my kids. I don't even lie to them to even protect them. I'm just very transparent, very honest with my kids. So if they ask me something, it's gonna be the truth. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and lie about, okay, this is the birds and the bees make babies. Like, it ain't none of that. It ain't gonna be no lie. Because if you go back and you have to lie about a situation, the root of all lies is Satan. So even if you do it in an innocent way, it's still operating in the wrong authority just because you lied. Even if you lying to protect. That's why I be like, don't come this way, because you're going to get the truth. Like, it's no way I can sit there and lie to you about something that's going on. It's like, it's the truth. I can't lie to tickle your ear. It's going to be the truth. Now, in certain situations, yeah, you got to lie to save and protect yourself out here. Just like what Ahab, just like what was her name? The lady, the prostitute that saved the Israelites. She lied. And then that boiled down to what is a lie. Rahab, I think her name. Rahab the prostitute. She saved the children of Israel. She had them in her house, and when they was looking to kill them, she said, they not here. And so God said, I'm going to bless you and your household, and I'm finna send angel death, and if you got everybody in your house, they're going to be saved. And God don't operate in a lie. So when I see that story of Rahab and how God protected her, people may say she lied when she did that. But then it boiled down to what is a lie. Like, the definition of what is a lie. Like, that's what it boiled down to at a certain point. So I think that our definition of what a lie is so vague. Because if you in a certain situation, somebody asks you your address, is you just going to sit there and get them your address? Talking about you telling the truth? Or is you going to have some wisdom and knowledge and get them the wrong address? To protect you and your family out here. Stuff like that. So when you get to that point, it's like, what is a lie? Because, okay, am I protected? If somebody walk up to me and ask me my address and I give them a bogus address, am I lying? Huh? I know. So that's what kind of me. Like, what is the definition of a lie? Because I think we just got it mixed up on what a lie really is. Because ain't no way God is going to bless Ahab for lying. So even though she told them that they weren't there and they was there, like, is that really considered a lie? Like, that's what I get out of y'all. So I'm going to go back and read this. So I'm just small talking. And I say y'all that to go into what I'm talking about. That movie. I think it's called The Throne of David. So it's this movie, The Throne of David, which I did watch. Because, you like, oh, a Christian movie. Like, you really get excited out here. Because you don't see too many movies that's, like, just Christian, just, like, no kind of ulterior motive, no kind of pushing certain kind of, like, agendas. Just a clean movie. And so, I was like, okay. I think it was, like, in the previews, too. So I looked at the movie. So and I'm speaking on this movie because somebody spoke and said that this movie is demonic. And so when this person said this movie, and I think this person's name is Lala Jenkins, like she did a video speaking on how this movie is demonic. And so I just watched the first episode, just the first episode. And when I watched the first episode, I was super excited. I was like, "Ooh, this is a Christian movie. It's about David, and his journey on what he got. They got a whole series on him, So I was kind of excited when I first watched it, and then it was exciting. Like it was like a real good movie. It reminded you of Gladiator, but it was like real good just to be like a church movie. So I'm thinking like, dog, most of the time you read the Bible, the movie's boring. Like the movie's just boring. But when I look at this, I'm like, it got my whole attention. So I'm like, wait, hold on, what's going on? That's how it was with this movie. So I only watched the first episode. Boop. So and some in my spirit, I never went back to it. So I see Lala Jenkins, and I see her with this video saying, what's that, House of David is demonic. So when I see this title, I ain't even looked at the video or nothing. And I was speaking to somebody about it, and I was like, the only way this movie will be like demonic, not even knowing what she even said about the movie to make it demonic. I said the only way this movie can be demonic if they took something out the word or added something to the word. I said that's what's gonna make this movie demonic. So as I'm watching, everything that I was saying will be the reasoning for this movie being demonic is what she's saying is the reasoning for this movie being demonic. I didn't even know. I didn't even know. So I was just like, okay, God, this discernment, this intuition, it's on point right now. That's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, God, I'm in tune with what's going on, because I didn't even have to see the video to even know what it was going to be about, really. But I did listen to the video, listen to what she was talking about, because I only seen like that first little episode. I didn't see nothing past that first episode. I think they do the first episode to draw you in because it's so good. Like, it's real good, full of action, like everything. You be like, dang, they did all this with a Christian movie. But when you go, and she breaks it down, because she actually was watching way more, and she breaks down a lot of stuff going on. They said they didn't want it to be, even though they using the Bible and using religion to create this movie, and it's based on the character out the Bible. They said when they actually did the movie, they didn't want no religion attached to this movie. So they kind of trying to pull the religion out of the movie, so to speak. So that's one thing that they was doing. So it's like, we don't want this to be a Christian movie, but we just gonna use the foundation of Christianity to push this movie and push this agenda, so to speak. And so they kind of did that, like they wanted to make it worldly. Maybe that's why it caught my attention, because my flesh, like normally if I see anything dealing with God, my flesh, my flesh is shut down. It'd be like, no, I don't even want to see this movie. But it had my flesh attention, which is a red flag, because it's like, huh? Like all this going on. And so they said they didn't want to make it so focused on religion. They didn't even want it to be religious. So they tried to pull, even though everything is based on religion, based on Christianity, based on a very popular person in the Bible. They use all these elements and say, okay, let's pull religion out of this. We don't want this to be about God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. So we're finna pull that out of this movie, but we're gonna use everything else in the movie. And so that's what they did. And so when she was talking, she was just saying that they started adding stuff to the movie, stuff that's not in the movie, stuff that's not in the Bible. They started throwing it in this movie, just to draw the attention. Even though if you read David and all of what he went through, everything in the Bible would be enough for you to even have the stories that you need to do what you need to do. But aside from that, they said, well, we gonna lie. So they started lying about this about David, lying about that about David. So they just put all these lies into this storyline. And so they were just trying to make him weaker than how God originally had him in the Bible. Like they had him like he's scared. They had him like he this, he that. But David wasn't really just like that type, because David had been fighting all his life. And I was telling somebody that David was a shepherd And he had to fight bears. He had to fight lions. Like, he had to fight that because he had to protect the sheep from all these wild animals. And so it just built his confidence up. So when he had to go against Goliath, he already had mastered how to fight these type of animals, beasts, creatures. Like, he knew exactly the center. He knew the pressure points you needed to hit. Like, he knew this because he had been in training all his life because he was a shepherd. You know, and shepherds gotta fight because you gotta protect them sheep. So it was just already in him. And they just tried to make him seem like he was weak. They tried to make it seem like God, it was just a close battle between, you know, all this stuff. But when you read the Bible, it don't really speak on it. You don't even really say that it really was just on a level where you just didn't know who was gonna win. It was like David won, boo. David hit him one time, boo, he gone. But the movie don't show you that. So I decided, after looking at her video, even though it wasn't nothing never in me, after I seen the first episode, I never went back to even want to look at the movie. But when she did her video and she was just talking about how they add all this stuff, I said, I can't watch this movie. I can't watch this movie because it's filled with lies. So you got these lies placed in your subconscious at this point, and now you got to dissect the truth from the lie. And I really don't have time to do all that. So I'm just not gonna watch the movie at all. And so, yeah, I don't want to go through the motion of trying to figure out what's real and what's not, because they didn't mix all that in. And so I just said I can't watch that movie for that one reason right there. So, I mean, if they were gonna make a movie and just like it's a fictional movie, then okay, cool. But you talking about it based on the Bible, but when you look at the movie, it's not based on the Bible. It's a huge deception. That's a huge deception. Even looking at the first episode, it's a huge deception because it's gonna wheel you in to want to see more. And as you see more, it's more lies. The storyline go a whole different direction than the Bible itself. So I was just telling this person, I'm like, I can't watch that movie. Because once you watch that movie, now you got to dissect the lies that's in it. You got to dissect it because it's in your subconscious. And you might be talking to somebody, don't even know, because it's plenty in your subconscious, this lie. And somebody might say something about David, and you might be like, no, David. You might say something like, no, David broke his ankle. Because in the movie, he broke his ankle. But in the Bible, it don't say nothing about him breaking his ankle. But in your subconscious, you got that lie planted with that truth. And you might indirectly be even speaking lies, thinking it's the truth, because they mixed it all in. So because they contaminated that, I can't watch that. It'd be too much for me to go into this movie, watch the movie, and then at that point analyze and say, this really happened and this did not happen. So I don't want to do all that. That's just too much right there. So that's why I'm doing the video on. Because I'm looking back, because I was talking about, and I didn't even know where this was going to go. When I started the video with my daddy used to lie. Then I was talking about the lies in this movie. But, you know, your parents, they do lie to try to protect you. And when we was young, you know, like through our ancestors, they were just told to lie to us. So actually, with them lying to us, a lot of us as adults went into the world blind because we was never really told the truth about the real world. But me, I tell and I try to equip my kids with the truth of the real world. I'm not going to water down what's going on out here. Like, it's going to be the truth. It's just going to be the truth, y'all. So I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. But I was just really speaking on this day because even before I even looked at her video on Do Not Watch This Movie, I said, they must be adding something to the word, taking something out of it. And I said, I can see you doing it to just like try to expand the storyline, so to speak. Okay, it's a movie, it's dealing with the Bible, so you got to throw extra stuff in the movie, so to speak. But I thought this movie was gonna be more based on historians, people that actually studied the life of David and studied his dad and his mama, his siblings, and what really was going on, and came together and did this movie. But that's not what they did. They found people that was of the world to direct this movie, and they purposely decided that they didn't want this to be a Christian movie. But we want to get the benefits of it being Christian, and we want that audience, but we don't want this to be a Christian movie. So that's what they did, and that's the foundation of what they was working with. That was what they came up with. They didn't find a Christian person and say, okay, they do David. They didn't get a bunch of historians who studied David and Saul and said, okay, let's put all our, truth together to make this happen. They just found somebody that said, okay, let's create a bunch of lies, but we're going to use the basis of David to do that. So that's what they did with this movie. So, I mean, if you want to look at it, it's a fictional movie. It's a fictional movie like Gladiator. But if you're looking at it on terms of the truth, that movie ain't the truth, y'all. Okay, so I'm speaking on it. Try to see if it's something else God want me to speak on. I think that's it, though. I think that's it. Just the lies. Because I can't believe how everything, like, it's the lies. Like my daddy, which I know he was doing to protect us, trying to get us to eat healthy, eat our fruits and vegetables and stuff. And then we like, ugh, I ain't eating it. Then you just be like, okay, just lie to make them eat it. Which in your heart you did mean well. Yeah. But it was a lie. So just try to be honest out here, y'all. The truth hurts. But try to be honest. Don't try to just walk around with these lies and trying to save and protect through these lies. Like, go to God. Because even with Rahab, she protected the Israelites. But then in our terms, it might have been through a lie. So just go to God with that, y'all. Because there's a lot dealing with that. And I'm pressed for time. I'm going to talk to y'all later. But yeah, I was just speaking really on the book of David. I don't know if it's called the book of David or what it was. The name of this movie. But it's based on lies. So if you do watch it, just go in with the mindset that this is not the truth. If you go in with that mindset, then okay, watch it. But if you want it based on the true person that's in the Bible, it's just lies. And it's meant to water down the power of God and the authority that David really had in the Bible. It's just meant to water all that down. So I'm talking to y'all later. Enjoy y'all day.